everyone, Irit here. Welcome to another video, and today we're going to swatch my autumn palette. I will give you a spoiler alert. Go buy Hematite Violet. That's what you see on the screen now. But you can watch the rest of the video also if you want. It's watercolor magic, so you'll find all the details below with links. Let's get started. So let's start swatching this. I did spray everything with water so that the colors will be nicely activated. And I'll leave also a list of all the colors below, so don't worry if you miss anything. I'm using this beautiful Schmincke empty pan that I found at my local art store. I was watching her Billowing Heart the other day, shocker I know, and she said that she has on her wish list a set of watercolors from Maimeri Blu, and it comes in such a tin that is silver, and I thought it was really beautiful, and I looked on the on Jackson's website for it. I'm not sure, I think actually the 18 pans one, which is what I wanted, was in stock, but it was like 100 euros. I don't think it's a bad price for what you get, but I didn't want to spend that. I didn't want a basic set of colors. So I just happened to be at the art store the other day, and I thought, okay, I'll look, maybe they have something similar, and they did. They have this beautiful palette from Schmincke. So it's actually really cool. I'll try. It fits the pans really nicely in these 3 rows. The top row and the bottom row have these metal kind of dividers, so you can't put full pens inside, but in the middle one there are no dividers, so you can also add full pens. And then you have these kind of rails that you stick here, and they keep everything really nicely in place. So I really like the setup of this. Probably 18 is a little bit, is not enough colors for me, but yeah. So I set this up with the intention, I didn't want to take apart my Italy palette. There's a video showing you all the colors that are in this palette. I didn't want to take it apart because I'm really enjoying it, and I didn't want to start moving colors. So there are a few colors that are in here and also in here. If I had the extra pan in my stash, I just included it here. But there are also colors that I didn't include here because I already have them here. It's very complicated, I know. And then another palette that I'm using is the Special Effects palette. Again, there's a video for this. All of these are like shimmery colors, and I really want to incorporate them, especially a few colors like the Duochrome Autumn Mystery color and the Scarab Red and Iridescent Ruby. I really want to use them also for my autumn paintings, but I just figured it's really actually handy to leave it in one palette, like my Special Effects palette. Okay, let's start swatching. So the first one is, you're not going to see anything. I found this one in my stash. This is a Schmincke White. I think it might be the Schmincke Academy, but it's a really nice white. It reactivates really nicely because I like having an intense white in my palette. I wanted to reactivate nicely and turn my colors into kind of pastel opaque colors easily without having to use a ton of paint. The next one is Buff Titanium. I think this is Daniel Smith. I decided to include, I really wanted like an earthy ochre color. I have in my Italy palette Nicolazo Yellow and Quinacridone Gold and Goethite. So I thought I could try. This is a new to me color, the Rembrandt Gold Ochre. It's really lovely. It's a beautiful shade. Next, we have the rest of the next 4 colors are kind of, you know, autumn colors that I thought I needed to include here. This is Daniel Smith Aussie Red Gold. I admit I didn't really like this color. when they came out with it and I got it. I don't know, but I'm actually warming up to it. So what I want to show you also is the mixtures, and this is where the white is so important, because the next four colors are not necessarily ones that I'm crazy about, as they are, but with white they are gorgeous. Okay, next we have Schmincke Cadmium Red Light. This is another color that I found in my stash. This is actually the only red I like these days. It's kind of an orangey red. It's more of a warm red, not a pinkish red. And it granulates. And I want to show you how it is with a little bit of white. So the mixtures with white are just gorgeous. And you'll see that also with the next colors. Next we have Daniel Smith Deep Scarlet. This is a lovely kind of, I look at it and it kind of reminds me of a more red burnt sienna. And I have to show you how it looks with some white. So pretty. So you can see you get these really gorgeous peachy, pinky colors. So this is Daniel Smith Deep Scarlet. Next we have Daniel Smith Perline Maroon. This color is so gorgeous. It's beautiful. And I'm going to show you how it looks with white. Let's drop a little bit of water in. So with white, it creates this beautiful pink. Lovely. So I hope you can see how versatile having white in your palette makes it. This is a color that Aliona sent me, and it's beautiful. This is White Nights Quinacridone Red. Now usually with other brands, Quinacridone Red looks a lot like Quinacridone Coral by Daniel Smith, but this one is more on the pinkish side. Let's see how it looks with some white. I think it's going to be pretty. Yes, this is like the perfect kind of, just a perfect pink. Gorgeous. It's warm, peachy, not peachy, but very, you know, pastel pink. And if I add even more white, then I can get this gorgeous light pink color. Beautiful. Moving on to the second row. This is Sennelier Opera Rose. This is again a color I took from my stash. It's like the Holbein Bright Rose. I probably should have left it out because I have a huge reservoir of Bright Rose in my Italy palette. But yeah, as I said, I didn't think too much about this palette, I admit it, but I'm really happy with the color combination. It's absolutely a palette that can work as a standalone. It is very versatile. But yeah, okay, so this one with white, you can see the difference. This is like really a warm pink, and then this one is more of a bluish pink, like Barbie pink, I would say. Love it. Okay, next we have, if you take a close look in my pan, you can see that it's split. So there's this color and then there's on the top a little one. And I'll show you how it looks and then I'll explain. A part of the reason that I'm doing these seasonal palettes is to use colors in my stash that have been neglected, forgotten, or just, you know, gone unused, and I want to try and get some good use out of them. And this is the case. So obviously this would be somewhere where I would put Cobalt Violet, but I have Cobalt Violet in my Italy palette, and I have this color in my stash. This is the Daler Rowney Cobalt Magenta. This was actually the first attempt that I bought to find the perfect cobalt violet. And this color is, the shade is really what I like. So it's more of a pinky violet as opposed to a bluish violet. But it has almost only, it's, the like base color is very, very weak. It's almost like transparent, and the only thing that is mostly visible here is the granulation. And that's why I ended up searching for more options, eventually found the Winsor & Newton Cobalt Violet, which is my favorite, and then switched to the Rembrandt because Rembrandt is vegan. But this was the first one that I got. On its own, it can be a little bit anemic, so what I added to it is just a dash of the Shinhan Pass Red Violet, which is one of the most intense colors I've ever seen. It's super intense. So I figured these two together, I can get something close to Cobalt Violet, and just to use these paints that are kind of neglected. So I think you can see the granulation that I'm talking about. It's lovely, but the color itself is a little bit anemic, so that's why I haven't used it. Next we have Lavender, which I also have in the Italy palette. I just had an extra pan. This is from Van Gogh, and I love this color. This is almost, most days this and Ultramarine are like my go-to blues, even though this is pretty on the purpley side. But yeah. And then Ultramarine Blue, I think this is also Van Gogh. I just had the pan, I thought I would include it. This is the kind of color I include too. I mean, I really enjoy Ultramarine Blue, but it's also a great mixing color. So let's see, with white, it's going to give me a lavender. I love lavender, and that's why I include it as a convenience color. But you can absolutely mix your own with ultramarine and white. Okay, moving on. I think this color needs no explanations. So pretty. I think I'm just going to mix all of them for you with white, just because it's fun, and also fun for me. This is, let's add a drop of water. Where are you? This is Lunar Blue. And let's see, I shouldn't dip my... This is how it is with white. I'll show you a close-up. Yummy. Isn't that beautiful? Sorry, the light is also disturbing us. Okay, so let's move on here. I should have started here. I don't know why I didn't. Oh well. Next we have Cobalt. I think this is from Lukas. I think they call it Cobalt Turquoise. It's my beloved Cobalt Teal. And it's already a very light and bright color, but let's look how it looks with white. You can get really lovely kind of pale minty colors with it. I'll try to correct the camera. Right now it's showing much bluer than it is in real life. Okay, next we have this one. I think almost everyone got right. This is Cascade Green. And I'm really enjoying adding white to everything. It's a fun experiment. Let's drop some water because this color has a great separation. That's why I included it here. So let's see what happens with white. This is the perfect... I don't even know how to call this color. I love this color. It's like a pastel muted bluish green. I don't know, it's just lovely.